Welcome everybody to a Delco Nerd Network hot take. Guys, if you haven't seen a hot take before, well, it's where a few friends get in a basement and we give our thoughts, we give our opinions on a TV show, a movie, or a game. Today, it's going to be a movie, and that movie is John Wick, Chapter 4. Here to discuss, as always, the triple threat, Chris Trio.
Gooch, I am here to serve. I have been of service. What is it again? I was trying to remember.
Yeah.
Is that it? Was that? Yeah. Gooch, how are you?
I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. It was like
I can't help you.
Yeah, damn it. It's been a week, but how are you?
I'm doing well. We're a little bit behind schedule with these hot takes. And
on the movies, it's tough.
Dude, many movies are coming out.
Month.
We were both on vacation with Shazam week.
Yeah.
I was in Nashville, Trio was in Pittsburgh, so we were a week behind with that.
Yep.
Then this week I had a wedding.
Yeah.
So we're behind with D&D. This week it's Easter and Trio has a wedding. So
and then we had John Wick last week that came out, and we're really a week behind on that one too.
Right. So we're late. We're sorry.
We're getting it.
Mario will be on time, and D&D will be a little bit late, but then we're fucking done.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's been a bit really any other movie. Well, it's just we've never had like it's been a
week
while
after week after
since
week.
we've had like a spurt of this.
And it's not like it's been like comic book movies either.
No, it's been movies that we just want to see and want to cover. So yeah, for sure, it's been tough. And there have been ones where it's like, yeah, I would have loved it if we saw this, especially opening weekend, and got to see it and got our review out there opening weekend. But we're doing the best we can. Gooch, are you ready to discuss the Baba Yaga's fourth chapter?
I am. Fourth and possibly not final chapter.
I know. We'll see. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Why is the third one the only one with a subtitle?
I was thinking this. I thought the same exact thing.
I was walking out and I was like,
they do like Winston says parabellum.
What, that's like Latin, right? Or something like for
wars come.
Something like that. Wars. Something along those lines.
Wars here.
War's been declared.
Something.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. I will admit the third one, I felt a little bit of the drag. I don't know. How did you feel about chapter 3? Just broad strokes, I guess.
I mean, I only just watched the series like recently, like maybe a year ago. I'm a pretty new John Wicker.
That's right. A new John Wicker. Yeah.
I'm gonna be a Wicker.
Yeah, I like that. The Wicker Man.
Yeah.
What did you feel about the whole? Yeah, I guess then give me a broad strokes.
1, love. 2, love. 3 is the weak point.
I agree.
I think it's like I don't really know what it is. Like I think like I love seeing Halle Berry and the dogs in it, but I think like it didn't have enough magazine ejections. Like 2, those magazines are going to the fourth dimension.
No, that's just across the room into another.
Oh my god, I think that's like literally like the best part of it.
He's saving mags in this one. I'm seeing him like put them in his pocket like when he needs to because he needs.
Come on,
I know it's tough. But
launch it across the room.
Yeah.
We need that.
No, I agree with you. I literally think my ranking goes 1, 2, 3, like exactly with how they're released and the way of how much I enjoy them. I think the first one is probably a perfect action film in my opinion. I don't think you can get much better than that. Just in the way it builds a world, keeps you engaged, and it gets you in and out. But yeah, the third one I just remember being like, and I actually did rewatch it before this one.
Oh, okay, cool.
Being like, this is just dragging out a little bit too long. I feel like I'm seeing the same thing twice. I don't really love the guards that are all armored out that he has to shoot 18 times. It feels like we're kind of just like, all right, let's get by them.
I just like the one shot, one kill.
I do too. Like it's so much more satisfying. Yeah. But I think this one did a much better job of keeping things fresh, keeping it interesting throughout the entire 2 hour and 40-minute runtime that when I saw that, Gooch, you know me with my runtimes. I was like,
let's fucking go.
I was not excited, especially after coming out of the third one a bit lackluster. But what were we about to say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like this movie. I have the same feeling that I had with like Top Gun Maverick, where I'm just like, dude, I can't tell you how many times like John Wick got talked to, and then he pauses and I go, yeah, and he says, yeah.
His cadence really is amazing because it almost seems like he doesn't know what he's gonna say next, like it. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, it's so good. No, he really, dude. Keanu, I don't know. It's almost inextricable that like Keanu as a character. What
extricable?
Inextricable. I thought that was a word.
You said extricable.
No,
inextricable. I think it's weird.
Well, if something's inextricable. Either way.
I don't care that much.
Keanu and John Wick are just as a character. I feel like it's just there's so much of a mix in the way of just like I don't know how I view Keanu in real life, not obviously as a mess like a killer who can assassinate whoever he wants, but just I don't know. John Wick is just a very likable character without saying much. And
yeah, I mean, but like
so
we
good.
don't have a lot of action flicks like this, so
We
I think that's why John Wick is this like intense, ultra violent, stylized action that's never really been done. And I wanted to segue into talking about chapter 4 with how you were talking about it being fresh. We're in a new location. We're in Japan. We have a mix of not only guns but katanas and bows and arrows, and everything does feel really fresh. And like that first action sequence, they're not doing anything crazy. They're just mixing in some different weapons and some different fighting styles, and it's satisfying.
John Wick's with some nunchucks. Are you kidding me?
And what's our guy? The Japanese. He's in everything.
I can't remember his name. He's like a major action actor.
Yeah,
He was
Scorpion in Mortal Kombat.
His whole character and everything, just the way he fought and everything with his cane and all.
Yeah.
Kane is his name in the movie.
Yeah,
but
no, that's Donnie Yen.
Oh, who are you talking about then?
Wait,
you're talking about Skarsgård, like the main bad guy?
No, I'm talking about the Asian guy.
Koji. He is the leader of the Continental in Japan, right?
Correct. I think it's in Kyoto.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
And he has some type of link to John. They're very good friends. He's keeping him hidden out in in that one. So that is one thing about this movie where, just to really quick hop back to 3 leading into this. The thing that I didn't like about 3 was that it felt like we ended 3 in the exact same place.
Hiroyuki Sanada.
Yes, he's in a lot. He's in a lot of movies, but the thing that I didn't love about where 3 left us was where it kind of just felt like it was the beginning of 3 all over again. Like whereas the table didn't like him, he's being hunted by the table.
Right. The what's Lawrence Fishburne's
like the king, the Rag King or something like that.
Right. That he's equipping him to go back in and take down the table.
So it didn't feel like there was sufficient change within the greater universe from that third one. And this one I feel like they do a good job of doing that. And even just the beginning when it starts out with him walking, what's his name? The king walking through the thing and just giving like this whole line, and John's just striking the fucking the Kyoto board or whatever, the karate board, and it just sets the tone so well.
Right.
But just overall, you're right. That there's like probably 3 long action scenes that kind of comprise this whole movie.
The club,
I would say.
Japan, the Champs-Élysées. Oh my God. Champs-Élysées. Oh my God, I can't say Champs-Élysées. Why can't I say
French? This is a French place. Oh, he is French.
Why can't I say it?
It's all right. No worries. But yeah, they do a good job of keeping you interested.
Champs-Élysées. Why the fuck can't I say it? It might be the Arc de Triomphe. It might not even be that.
Oh yeah, the Arc de the one around that. Yeah, I even forgot about that one.
That piece. Yeah.
There's a good amount of set pieces in it, and I will say again, for a 2 hour and 45 minute movie, you're basically there all for the action. It moves at a clip. But what did you think about the villain in the Marquis?
Yeah, Skarsgård. Pretty good. I didn't really care about him like at first, but then I think like his interactions with Mr. Nobody was pretty cool, and like his like savagery, and you kind of felt like he was like
his like style too.
Like,
even
he had like a style. I don't even know really how to name it other than that, but I felt like he was menacing.
Yeah,
and he didn't really feel like connected to the table all that much.
So he
felt like very rogue.
Well, so I thought he was a member of the table. I thought he's one of the like 12 members. Yeah, okay, all right.
But he just doesn't feel like it because he's kind of acting on his own. It's not like he's like meeting with the other members and getting orders. Like you
really don't get much of the other table. Really,
right, he's acting on his own accord here and kind of seeking out justice the way he
justice
wants to.
And fame. He seems to really kind of he's a young up and comer.
Right.
I found his French accent to be a bit questionable at some points. But other than that, I thought he was really good. I thought he really chewed the scenery where necessary, and I kind of like the twist that they give on him. I was expecting him to kind of have this big, I don't know, action moment of the whole movie. Which,
you mean the twist at the end?
Yeah, with the way of like how he kind of like where his character goes, you don't really get this big kind of action moment with him, I don't feel like.
No.
It's more him just fucking with people and torching them and being a complete asshole, and I think that really lends well to what his character is, and that he's not really this force for John to fight in that way, but more this conniving little asshole. What did you think of Donnie Yen's character, though, Kane?
Dude, what a crazy, he played the blind...
he's on the verge of getting typecasted here.
Samurai in Rogue One, and he's back doing the exact same thing. Really funny character, kind of like the drunken master sort of like fighting style. Like it's not real. Like he's got style and he's got substance, but like there's something about him that's kind of funny.
Dude, it's
the
awesome.
way he like knocks people in the head or like, does something.
Keeps tapping the sides to like hear shit. Yeah.
Does goofy things. Yeah. Like
he's using doorbell things to fight, Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah. Like the way he gets around his disability is really interesting.
And I even loved his connection with John and that idea of this guy going after him that doesn't want to go after him at all. Like he's just reluctantly trying to do it to save, someone he loves.
His family.
Very similar situation as to what John was in, and what he had to give up something really big to get out, quote unquote. Well, I did
like Koji's daughter too. I don't remember her name, but I thought she was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She's like the what's
the
Sharon?
Concierge?
Yeah, the concierge. Yeah, we got to talk about Lance.
Speaking of a concierge,
dude, I was like. It was so almost poetic.
It really was.
He dies in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And like, they have a scene at his grave. I'm surprised they didn't have an in memory of Lance Reddick or Reddick.
It might have been too late to get new, because that happened while they were like on press
it was
so
like
I think it's literally too late for them to insert
or the red
that.
carpet.
Exactly. I think it was just too late for them to insert something. I'm sure there might be something on the DVD release or something like that,
or when they put it to digital.
Yes, yeah. So
because he gets killed because Winston. Like it's so funny. Winston like fucks with this table like. So
way too much, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm like I think you're like pushing your luck, man.
Well, again, even in that, like at the end of the last movie, we have this kind of this setup, this table set up with Winston being back in. But as soon as we get into this movie, he's immediately revoked, and they just destroy the Continental of New York, which then sets everyone else kind of
very
on
casually.
Edge. Yeah, extremely
I mean not really casually, but they're like, yeah, we're just gonna like C4 this whole fucking building.
Yeah. Oh, Clancy Brown too. I love that little appearance.
Clancy Brown. That was such a cool role for him. Very major character, but like not major.
No. But he was enough in there.
Right.
He was perfect.
He wasn't an adjudicator. He was like a
I don't know.
sort of table person.
I was surprised that adjudicator that character didn't come back from the third one.
Was it from the third one or the second one?
It's the third one.
Okay.
Because that's where she comes in to like be like, why did you let him shoot?
Excommunicado.
Excommunicado. I think they did tamp back
the Marquis like kind of punishes Winston
by killing his concierge because he was like, well, you'll make a martyr out of him if you kill the person. But yeah, I don't want to skip over Lance. I mean, R.I.P. to a legend. He was in so many things that I just didn't even realize.
A lot of games, Destiny 2, or Destiny, I should say. Quantum Break. He's in a lot of games. He's in a lot of animated stuff. Horizon.
So many things.
It's going to be interesting to see
He's in the forthcoming Hellboy game, apparently. He plays Hellboy.
It's going to be interesting to see how they get around this with specifically Horizon.
Like something like it, yeah.
Yeah, because like Silence.
He's a pretty key character in that. I don't remember. I haven't played the
Silence was the black guy who's kind of like.
Is he in the first one too?
Like Lance Reddick. Yeah.
Okay. I haven't played that game forever.
Yeah, he's like the holograph guy who's talking to you through your communicator.
Right.
Yeah. And in the second one, I forgot you didn't play that one.
Yeah, it's on my list. I am going to get to it eventually.
He's a key player in that as well, and would have been in the third one. And
avid Destiny player too, right? And stuff like that. Yeah, seemed just like a genuinely nice dude. So as far as I can tell.
Yeah, Keanu was like, yeah, man, just fucking sucks. He's not here. Like,
what
a way to put it, like just not a lot of words, but like, just
you can tell he meant it. He's like, dude, it just fucking sucks. Like that he's not here. It really does, and I can't imagine. But R.I.P. to Lance Reddick. I think he does get a heartfelt send off in this that you didn't even really realize was happening in the greater world. But
and then they meet at his grave, and
it's a good little moment. And then they have the whole thing later with John. What do you want on your grave?
Loving husband.
It was
what? That's what I want on my grave. Yeah.
It was so good. I mean, there was definitely like the fact that a character that has little lines as John Wick does can have that emotional weight. I think just gives a lot of credence to what these movies do. And I didn't realize this. The first movie was going to be a straight to DVD movie.
Really?
Yeah, they were gonna just put.
I mean, Keanu really wasn't.
No, he wasn't. Yeah, no. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Looking,
he wasn't back just yet.
Sure,
I think John Wick kind of brought him back to the
for
surface.
Sure, absolutely. So I mean, who knows? That one little choice could have made all the difference. And this is just, man, this is how you successfully build a franchise. I just want to say that as well. You start off with something small, something concise, and you slowly build on it from there. I think they had a little bit of a misstep with the third one, but overall, that movie's still a lot of fun, and I did really enjoy revisiting it. But this one was just, it was a coup de grace of everything that makes John Wick Wick, and it was so nice to see, and so many good moments. Donnie Yen, I'm trying to think other character wise that I want to talk
Mr.
about.
Nobody.
Mr. Nobody, yeah. What did you
kind
think
of like
about
an anti-hero type character, like, you know, just like Kane, kind of like supposed to kill John, but doesn't, but also is helping him, but also is trying to kill him at the same time.
Well, that's the thing. He's trying. So throughout the whole movie, he's trying to get as much money out of John Wick's contract as possible by just keeping him alive.
And he pushes the limit and he gets it, but like the Marquis like stabs him in the hand, and
that moment
he says,
man.
the easy way out to be just to pull the knife out, but to like show his loyalty, he had to like
pull his hand
out.
Ugh. Good little moment, but his whole
rough to watch.
His whole character arc throughout it was great, and just.
And his aesthetic, he's kind of like a sort of like a
more grungy.
Grungy fighter, has a backpack on, not like
uses a lever action rifle too, which I thought was really
1887 or something like that. And he is the dog. Yeah, he's just much more kind of utilitarian than like John, where he just has like a gun.
And it was funny because for a good chunk of the movie, I was like, man, I don't care about this guy. I don't really know why we're showing this guy.
And then we get the blind drunken master here
for sure,
and
but
the archer. We get a lot of like cool different assassin
archetypes. Yeah, for sure. But I did like how they brought around his story at the end. Spoiler alert: John Wick saves his dog from being killed, and that's why he's like, all right, fine, I'm gonna help John Wick. I can't kill him now. And it was great. That club fight scene with what's his name. So that is Batman's stunt double, Scott Adkins, in that fat suit.
It's a fat suit?
It's a fat suit. Because it was funny. I was watching it. The way he was kicking, I'm like, this has to be a man in a fat suit. But I looked it up, and then I was seeing things online afterwards, and they were like, yeah, Scott Adkins played a major role in this. I'm like, he did? What was he in? And then I was like, oh, fuck. Cool. He's the big fat...
so what do they... I know why they go there, and it's to kind of like... It's to reinstate John into
John, to get back... That guy, that big fat man, I can't remember his name.
He's the Russian...
He killed the leader of the Bala... his family,
right?
Because remember, he goes there, he's like Igor should be making the choice, not you, and she's like, Igor's dead. It's because that guy killed,
right?
I think,
so
Igor,
kill him
for them
to prove
helping
your worth, right?
And that gets him back into
and then
them.
They play poke. They're playing like
blackjack, I think,
right?
And that whole scene's a good moment of where he's just talking,
building tension, and then they fight. It's Kane and John, and they fight, and then the club scenes are so good.
And I love
nobody stops dancing.
I saw memes about that all this weekend. Nobody's just in the background.
Nobody
it's like people just
don't
shooting.
Stop.
Don't stop. Just keep going. Who knows what they're seeing in that club?
I think we haven't seen a club scene since 1, right?
No, they're in every one. There's 1 and 2, and there's 1 and 3. I'm pretty confident.
Really?
Yeah, the second one.
There is a 1 and 2.
Yeah, and I'm
actually
confident
it goes from like
3.
the club to the crypt to the mansion. It's a pretty like the shotgun reload.
It's so good. It's amazing.
And that he launches a lot of mags at that part where he gets up in the mansion. Yeah,
I think you pull out a notepad. You're like, I think it's about 12, but I might have miscounted.
I tell you that the aesthetic of that is so.
Well, it's a great sound too. Just that.
Yeah. Well, it's just the way he so carelessly like flicks the magazine and like loads it, and that shit's like across the room, and you just hear like fucking like
no, it's true.
Around.
And listen, one other thing I cannot help but always bring up with these films is, and everyone talks about, is how he does most of his own stunts, and how much of a difference it makes when you're watching an action scene and you can see the character's face and you know that's the actor doing that scene.
Keanu Reeves is probably one of the closest actors to Tom Cruise.
I think he trumps Tom Cruise in a lot, in the way of like
he's younger.
In the head, you're right, but also Tom just does crazier stunts in the way of like
Tom's jumping
out of jump off a cliff or something.
Right,
yeah.
Tom's jumping out of fucking airplanes and literally
3
driving
times,
them, but
or holding on to the side of one.
more of a gun guy.
Exactly,
like Tom Cruise isn't in like heavy, like he's in action movies,
and he has a few hand-to-hand good combat.
But he's not like
scenes,
he's not like a John Wick type.
Like gun hand to hand, yeah.
Right.
It's true. But one of the last great action stars in my humble opinion.
And then the other action set piece after that is the once we get into France where we got to meet the Marquis for the duel. and they kind of set that up. I like how they go from like, we're just gonna kill this guy. It's like, all right, we got to do this like by the book, and
we can kill him before
they set that
the
up,
thing.
but we're gonna try to make sure that doesn't happen. And the fight around the Arc de Triomphe, I wonder who thought of that. Of like, okay, we're gonna have a fight in the roundabout, the most famous roundabout in the world. And
Chaos
between the cars and the cars driving around and the people being dropped off, and like, dude, like fucking incredible.
I do think people wouldn't be driving around still in the circle after a little while, but either way, you're right. I completely agree. And even that step scene.
Oh, dude, the steps.
How did you?
I loved every fucking second.
So there's one part that like genuinely, it was a comedic effect. It had to have been.
He rolls down the steps for 40 seconds.
For 40 full seconds.
It's awesome.
And it's an uninterrupted night. It's funny because I'm seeing it with my roommate. And we both kind of looked at each other and looked back.
This
and
is
I'm
awesome.
And I was laughing, and then he didn't. I don't know how he felt about it, but afterwards he was coming out and we were talking. We were like, "What happened?" There is a lot of dark comedy in a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that's where it is." Yeah, that's where
like
it's still. He's like, "I don't know if that really exists in this one." I'm like, "No, I do think it is. And I do think that's especially
when they run out of bullets and he's like. And they do something funny, like
it's good.
Like it ejects like some humor. I think there's
some levity.
As serious as it is, there is a lot of levity, like you said,
sure.
like within the action of just kind of like, dude, I'm laughing this whole fucking movie. I'm having a great time. I'm grinning ear to ear, like. Everything about John Wick is fun.
Yeah.
I'm laughing when people are dying. It's incredible. I think it's part of its charm.
I agree.
Is that levity, but also this highly intense stylized action.
Absolutely. No, it really did bring a lot of those and these tropes. I think tropes existed in Hong Kong action films and things like that, but it truly did kind of bring this type of stylized action into mainstream films, in my opinion, especially the first one, but and these ones have just completely capitalized on it. And it is cool to see that the same director has still been directing I can't remember his name, Chad Stahelwick or something like that.
Chad S.
He is also directing the Ghost of Tsushima film for Sony, which I'm very intrigued about.
I get it, but I'm like, well, it's okay.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I think I could see him doing something like that.
I mean, he's clearly worked with a lot of Asian actors in terms of like either the stunt people or the main actor. So he probably has like a nice swath of people he's going to bring in for
100%. And that's the thing. I feel like you bring on people who to consult and things like that. I mean, listen, still one of my favorite examples of like, I don't know, people are always like, you can't necessarily, not always, not everyone, this is a broad stroke, so, take it as you will. People will be like, you can't create a story unless you're from that background, or else you truly have experienced that. And it's like, the Tsushima Island,
it's already written.
No, but Tsushima Island gave a bunch of white guys who made that game, awards and like an honor for being honorary historians of Tsushima because they did such a good job at bringing that culture to life. So, listen, I think he could do a great job. I'm excited to see what he could do action-wise. He was talking about how he could bring like up the color palette and really kind of stylize it in the way that the game is. So, listen, that could be really cool. And then we get to the end.
I was going to say, let's go back to the stairs for a minute, because it's like, we go up it and we go down it and we go up it again like fully.
Yeah, we do.
It's like we spend so much time on it. It's so like on paper that doesn't sounds
insane.
Good.
Yeah.
But when you when you do it and
watch it play out,
and like John's getting his ass kicked at some points, and he's getting pushed down, and like every time he gets pushed down, and you're like, oh no. Yeah, you're like, oh fuck. I'm trying to remember it exactly. It's definitely a movie. Like I could rewatch all these John Wicks
for sure. And one thing I do still love about these movies too is I do love how it's gotten to the point where they do this in the third one more, in the second one kind of, but where he is really using his suit,
his jacket.
like they're using their suits. I
noticed
and things
in this
as shields
one, I thought
a lot more, right?
Lot.
Yeah.
And he's just like hobbling fucking around.
Again, another thing I should say, love seeing a hero get hurt. You don't see that a lot, especially in certain action films like, Fast franchise and things like that. You don't really see the guys get really injured harshly And I love to see John Wick get battered and bruised, but just kind of keep going. It's so good.
Yeah, but we do end on that at the top of those stairs. I forget where it is.
It's some church. I can't remember. It's a very famous church.
Sanct something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's a duel. It's between
flintlock pistols, old school, between a blind guy and a pretty fucked up individual.
Yeah, a man who's been beaten half to death over the course. How long do these movies take place the course over? Jesus Christ, that wasn't.
All of them?
Yeah, it's only like 2 or 3 weeks, right? I think that's the idea, anyways.
I don't know.
I really think it's like less than a month for sure.
Really? You think it's less than a month?
The first two happen within the first week.
I think between 2 and 3, it's a few months.
I don't.
Maybe I'm wrong.
So that would make more sense because he's like
between 1 and 2, it's like a few hours.
I think it's a few hours. Between 2 and 3, I think you might be. What happens? 3 picks up right after because he's running out of the hotel and they're like saying John Wick is excommunicado. And then this fourth one might be a month or 2 because he's recuperating after being thrown
shot
off
the fucking Continental.
Yeah,
by Winston.
You've seen that? If you haven't, you need to look up the behind the scene things. I don't think that's actually Keanu that goes off the roof, but someone goes off a roof for real, and it's pretty insane.
It's painful.
Yeah, so it's a great final scene. You know, it's him and Kane just basically going shot for shot. You can tell they don't want to kill each other. And then Johnny Boy, he gets him.
You feel like the whole time they're trying to like, how do we get out of this?
Yes, and you just don't know.
Yeah, and it happens with John not shooting his final shot as they're the closest. And the Marquis kind of, gets cocky and he's like, I'm gonna fucking put him out of his misery. And then Winston was like, he didn't fire.
He didn't fire his last shot, you idiot, or something like that.
Yeah,
and then John just takes him right out.
Yeah.
And then, Kane gets a happy ending. He is now all square with everyone.
Did you stay for the end credit scene?
No, I didn't.
There's an end credit scene.
Which one? I know they go to his... So it finishes, they go to his grave. Oh, that's right. So I should say Johnny Wick. So they did this on purpose.
What?
They didn't show you. So we see John on the steps of the church, and he seems to be dying, and he seems to kind of, curl over, and he asks Winston to take him home, and then it cuts to them at his grave, and very much implies that he's dead, and it has his tombstone, and that seems to be the end of the Baba Yaga.
Right.
Or is it?
I mean, he's definitely. I would assume he's.
You
dead.
would assume he's dead, but I just felt like it was such a soft way, not in a bad way. I just don't know how else to describe it, but just a non-point way to do it. Like he wasn't just shot and taken down. Like he just kind of curls over, and then they're like, "All right, he's dead." We put him in the ground. I feel like they kind of left that a little open-ended, so they could be like, "Well, maybe he's not." I don't know, because I mean, dude, these films they did so well. This one did.
So the end credit scene is Akira, the daughter, going to kill Kane.
That makes sense. Yeah. Again, that could easily be another movie. We got Ballerina coming out with Ana de Armas, which is about, I didn't realize, is about those ballerinas that we see in the school.
Yeah,
and we see, so
Norman Reedus is also in that.
You see it in the third one, actually, I think, not the second one.
No, it's the second one.
No, it's the third.
Pretty positive.
I feel like I just watched it. No, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm pretty confident it's the third now.
Yeah, so Akira kills Kane, but they don't show it.
Oh,
either.
So she goes, so like it's the actual act of like, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But, she's not killing his daughter, so it doesn't matter.
And then the cycle just continues, Gooch. Then the daughter will get revenge.
Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle, as Fat Bastard said.
But yeah, I do think John Wick is dead. We are getting this ballerina spinoff with Ana de Armas and Norman Reedus. This has been announced.
He is going to be in it too, because it's a prequel.
Long prior to this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Now there is rumblings we're going to get John Wick 5. I think, we could do a prequel. This is a real deep cut. But with the original Tomb Raider series, The Last Revelation, they killed Lara Croft off. And then they did a game right after that. And it was about her butler and 2 other people recounting stories about Lara Croft. So that's how they got around it. Yeah. And I'm like, I was kind of thinking, I'm like, they could kind of do the same thing. Like, imagine Winston's with
does
one
it
or
have
2 other guys. Does it have it? No.
I think you have to, unless you do an actual follow-up, I don't think a prequel with John Wick that's about John Wick works.
It is chapter 5. You know, it's not
That's what I
chapter.
mean.
You know,
Chapter 0.
One point.
Yeah.
That would actually kind of be a
John Wick
cool
chapter 0.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like the begin. I see, but would you? Yeah,
John Wick Origins.
Or yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
But
yeah, I would love to see another one. I'm fine with them fucking retconning.
I would too. I'm fine with them like waiting
it
2
starts
years
with
though. Yeah, it's just coming out. That would be insane.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'm back. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Thanks, John.
Again.
But yeah, a great. If this is the send off,
definitely one of my top movies of the year so far, man.
I would
gotta
agree.
admit, I think we're gonna get to the second annual DNNs, which you can watch the first right now at youtube.com/Delco Nerd Network. I think
Please check it out.
This movie is gonna be like in my top. I really enjoyed this.
I think it's gonna be on the list, absolutely for sure.
Yeah,
at the very least.
So,
I mean, we got so much still coming out.
I think I'd give it a low tier film. I think it hits the film. You know,
I would say mid tier film.
Okay,
I'd actually go a little higher.
I wouldn't debate it.
Yeah,
at all. I think I'm okay with that.
Actually, the first one is a high tier film, in my opinion. In the way of
I think they're all films.
It's a high tier. Yeah, like, it's just a high. It's just such a pinnacle
you're not watching
action
John
film.
Wick for the narrative.
No,
but it is interesting, and the world building does.
But
get
it's weird though because I think
escalates as we go.
You are watching it for the narrative in a weird way.
Yeah,
it's not like you know what I mean.
You're
not like you're not completely disregarding the narrative. That's why like. It's something silly
it's
as
just
his
so
daughter.
simple.
Yeah, it's something
it's
as
not
simple
complex.
as that.
It's not
that,
deep.
That doesn't. Yeah, exactly. But that's fine, and that can still make a film.
I mean, hey, like I think like Top Gun Maverick is a film,
absolutely.
But it has more of a stereotypical narrative.
Sure, absolutely.
But again, nothing special.
No. But it does what it needs to do, and it just does it so well, and that's the key.
Yeah.
Gooch, anything else on John Wick, Chapter 4? No subtitle.
No.
Good. Anyways, guys, gals, folks, thank you all so much for watching with us. You can find this podcast anywhere podcasts are found. Just search Delco Nerd Network. You can even catch us when we record live on twitch.tv/Delco Nerd Network when we do so. We're on all the social media pages at Delco Nerds on basically everything. We have a Discord channel. We have a Facebook page, all of which shall be linked down below. You can email us with all your comments, questions, or concerns, delconerds@gmail.com. We'd be happy to get back to you. If you can like, comment, subscribe, review the podcast, tell a friend about us. It all goes a long way to spread the word. But you can find all this information on our website, delconerdnetwork.com. For Gooch, I've been Trio. Thanks for watching. Stay nerdy, guys, and we will see you next time.
Yeah. Maybe I'll put that in. Maybe I won't. We'll see.